Hello, I'm Bernie Hayes. Today's guest is Denale Powell. He's an author and an entrepreneur. We'll be discussing a lot of business today on The Bernie Hayes Show. And welcome back. My guest is Denale Powell. Denale, how can I say that? Denale Powell. How you doing, Denale?
Very good.
Good.
A pleasure to be back, and it's always a blessing to be in your presence.
It's been about a couple of years since you were hitting the show, wasn't it?
It has. Pre-COVID, actually.
Oh, was it about 4 years ago? Oh, my goodness. It seems like just yesterday.
Right.
You were here.
Time
But you've been doing
flies.
so many things.
Thank you.
I mean, you've really been doing so many things. I know you're at Harrisville State University, and I see you Alpha Phi Alpha.
I have to represent almost that 25-year mark. So I have to.
Yes, that's wonderful. But tell us about the new book that you just authored.
Oh, yeah.
What's the name of it?
The name is Thank You for Your Time.
Thank you for your time. ...
You're fired.
Oh, okay.
So the book is pretty much an entrepreneurial book, but it also is kind of a self-empowerment book to a standpoint, or being resilient, right? So it talks about actually being fired or laid off and how you bounce back from that. But it also talks about how to build your own business, whether it's a revenue stream or whether it's a full-on business and you legacy building and so forth. But always, whether you have a company on the side or whether you're doing that full-time.
Okay. Now, this is the second book. The last time you were here, you were promoting a book. This is your second book or third
Oh, no,
book?
this is the first. Well, we have a publishing company now, my wife and I, but this is so she had her own book that came out about a year ago.
Okay, that's what it
Then we
was.
have a children's book line too.
Yeah,
but this is
okay.
this book came out a few years ago.
What inspired this one?
This is actually several things, but one was the trials and tribulations of my corporate experience. I started off, I graduated 2001 from SIU Edwardsville, got into the corporate world kind of early, worked for companies like Enterprise, News, Channel 5, and the May Company. Got the corporate experience, but during that time, I had different trials and tribulations, from not getting promoted or not being seen or not being able to do certain things, getting laid off and so forth. And then also my father, who was laid off after like 20 some years, and I call a chapter of the book is called the Gold Watch Syndrome. But sometimes to work for a company for 20 or 30 years just to get a pat on the back and and you get gold watch and you're gone, and just to see how all the blood, sweat, and tears and intellectual property goes to that company, you don't have nothing of your own after that. So it really inspired me to get my own company that I can pass on to my children.
So work for yourself.
Absolutely.
I see here, chapter 5 is complacency in
Yes.
corporate America. What does that mean?
That means it happened to myself, it happens to a lot of us. Sometimes you get a job and you find a job is in your career field or something you think you want to do, and then you kind of 5 years go by, you're still doing the same thing. You're not really getting promoted. You're not really getting notice of the accolades that you believe you should have. And then what sometimes happens is you don't know or value they don't know or value your worth proposition, because it's a business, so they sometimes treat you as such. So then you feel that sometimes in the sense of either not getting promoted, not getting the raises that goes with inflation, or getting replaced by a much younger person, depending age points and experience, just from a business standpoint, to cut the fat, so to speak. Then they bring in 2 or 3 young people and send the more experienced person out, or on a young person's side, you get paid the really, really low salary.
Yeah.
You have to earn your stripes and and so forth. But still, just kind of getting complacent. You can get stuck in that space to where you think that's it.
I see here in the book how many times you've been fired. Remember words like resilience, prayer, and to be extremely humble, or you will be humble.
Yeah.
I digress.
Yeah.
Tell me about that. What does that mean?
That just means if anyone ever been laid off or fired, or same thing, the job relocated, whatever, it does something to you mentally, especially sometimes it's not male and female, but sometimes as a guy, sometimes your job title and all that, you kind of associate with that, and you lose your sense of self sometimes if you lose a job and then you don't know what you're going to do next. You're in a sense of panic. But you obviously have to be grounded in spirituality and prayer and faith and know something better going to come along. Or a lot of times in my case, I would start a business, and that prompted me to start a business, because that's something that I can put my blood, sweat, and tears to, and I can have some type of autonomy of that. But and then the resiliency just really stick with it. You fall down, and being an athlete and everything, you fall down, get back up and get going, and try to dust yourself off. And
on page 27, 27, it says, knowing your worth as an employee. Yes. Knowing your worth. Yes. How important is that?
Very important. Whether you're starting off 22, 23 out of college or 50 plus, and you're still knowing your value in that, because a lot of times, again, that going to that complacency again, sometimes you can get caught in that space where you're not getting valued, or you're not getting seen, you're not getting fed, so to speak, from a job standpoint, meaning that it's not fun to you anymore. So when I say being complacent, or you really want to make sure you know your worth, so you know the trajectory. So if you're 22, don't say because I'm 22, I'm young, I can't get that job. Know your worth and value. Like, I can do executive work. I can do that. You might need a mentor or something along the way, but the sky's the limit. Don't minimize yourself.
Well, on the back cover, man, it says dream it, live it, become it.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Denale A. Powell weaves a masterful tale of survival in a corporate world while heeding the call to do his own thing. Draw from experiences that we all share when faced with the ultimate decision. What am I going to do with myself? How will I survive? Et cetera, becomes all too real as this journey takes on the ultimate challenge of entrepreneurial success. Who should buy this book?
You know what? Anyone right out of college or in college, anyone looking to start a business, anyone looking to change careers, right? Anyone who's kind of stuck in a rut and looking for trying to get promoted and things like that. So pretty much anybody who's in either the workspace or the entrepreneurial space, because it's not strictly for entrepreneurs. My wife would always say, stop trying to make people entrepreneurs. And I always say, I just like people to see their power, worth, and value.
What's your wife's name?
Morgan Denale Powell.
Say hello to her.
Hello, good morning. Hope you enjoy your off day today.
It says, follow this quintessential collection of stories designed to inspire the entrepreneur in all of us. So this is really a guide.
Absolutely.
How can we get it?
You know what? You can get it. I already carry some in my person, but also you can get them online. You can get them through my website, MrNetworkSays.com.
So say that again. Mr. Network
you can get them. Yeah, MrNetworkSays.com or RedRidinghoodBooks.com.
Okay. What about the other website?
And we'll get to that later. But TCFGINS.com is an insurance company, the Conley Financial Group, which I'm excited to be a part of that team.
So they can reach you to that also, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And then the book is, how much does it cost?
The books are $20. You know, it's a good quick read. I guarantee you get something from it. 20 different networking tips, business tips, stories that kind of interweaves in that process as well. But the goal is to really inspire, empower, and motivate anyone wherever they're at. If they're stuck in a rut, or if they're college to corporate transition, or you leveling up, you're already in corporate and you're going up, or you're trying to start a business, or you're thinking of scaling up your business. So it all ties together.
So this is like the Bible of elevating your net worth and
absolutely
total worth also.
And you just said it. Because I always say your network is your net worth. So a lot of times, and that's in your job, it's in your it's in business, and it's how you move and navigate through that.
Well, it says that 20 networking tips, a must read for any aspiring entrepreneur. And we just, your inspiration for this, Denale, I guess, has a little to do with you too, doesn't it?
Yes.
I mean, your rise.
Oh, absolutely.
Your step by step.
Absolutely, and like I say, is again going back to the spiritual and foundation. It's not me, So a lot of times we're called to do certain things, and sometimes the situation, the life challenges we go through, whether it's job when I was 25 or 30, I'm 44 now. So so a lot of just that journey through early career, late career, sometimes having to pivot. Even COVID made the world pivot, right?
Yeah.
So it's sometimes about reflecting and being passionate. And I always say, also talk about passion and purpose and finding that and aligning that with what you want to do. And that normally going to be your career, because it's going to be a happy place for you, and you'll be to help people.
Some of the quotes from the book are inspiring. We're talking with Denale Powell. He's the author of the book, Thank You for Your Time. You're Fired, The Journey to Becoming an Entrepreneur. And we're here at the New Life Evangelistic Center, 2428 Woodson Road in Overland, Missouri. And Reverend Larry Rice has been helping folks for more than 51 years. And we'll be right back with Denale Powell after this.
Will you help New Life Evangelistic Center get back into 1411 Locust Street? Your tax-deductible gifts are urgently needed at this particular time, and there's many different ways that we're working to get back in that facility. One of the ways is to continue to inform the community through the Bernie Hayes Show and other programs. And if you haven't supported the Bernie Hayes Show and the work of New Life Evangelistic Center, please do it now. It's urgently needed. Your gifts are deeply appreciated. So many homeless people are waiting to get back into 1411 Locust, and so many others need the direct help that New Life is trying to provide at this time, but it's facing some real financial needs, and that's why your gift is very, very important. And to express our thankfulness for all of you that are sharing your gifts, we want to send you this special Bernie Hayes cup. It's my wife's favorite drinking cup. She loves to drink out of this cup, and this is actually the only coffee cup she wants to use is the Bernie Hayes cup. There's something very special about this cup, and we'll send it to each one of you that share a gift of $25 or more with the New Life Evangelistic Center and ask for your Bernie Hayes cup. It's P.O. Box 473, St. Louis, Missouri, that's 63166. Your gift will not only help us get back into the 1411 Locust building, but will help our first responders that are on the streets, the first responders that we have out there day after day, night after night. It will help keep our women and children in our safe houses, continue to keep our training programs open, our worldwide mission work, whether it's in India, Haiti, Africa, so many different things the New Life Evangelistic Center is doing. In addition to NLEC TV, tell your family and friends about it. Put it on your phone. Put on your get that phone app on all your friends' phones so that they can all see the Bernie Hayes Show or go to 24.2. It's your prayers and gifts that make all of this possible. I thank God for those of you who continue to pray for the reopening of 1411 Locust and the work of New Life Evangelistic Center. There's so many obstacles we're facing as we try to help the homeless, but we're going to continue to give it to God. We're going to continue to pray. We're going to continue to work, but we need you to partner with us. So again, it's New Life Evangelistic Center, P.O. Box 473, St. Louis, Missouri, that's 63166. I thank God for each one of you that are praying, caring, and sharing.
And welcome back. I'm Bernie Hayes. My guest is Denale Powell. Denale is an entrepreneur, but he's doing so many things. Denale, this next thing, the Connolly Financial Group. Tell us about that.
Absolutely. And I'm ecstatic and excited to be a part of this new team. So the Connolly Financial Group is the largest black-owned insurance agency in St. Louis, Las Vegas, Kansas City, and Washington, D.C. And then we're looking to expand in maybe Illinois as well. So Kathy Conley Jones from the St. Louis area has been in business since '83. And then Quincy Branch, who recently purchased Conley Financial, who's out of Vegas. So now with the largest, and he's been in insurance 20 plus years, second generation insurance professional.
So how do you intertwine with this?
Yes. So I'm actually working for the Conley Financial Group. So I'm a licensed agent. I was an independent agent broker for about 5 years in life insurance primarily. And then we've worked together. Conley Financial also serves as the Heristo Athletics, the Hornets, Go Hornets, one of our largest athletic sponsors too. So, but they are actually one of our sponsors for T-shirts and helping the athletic department grow. So we had a connection. We hit it right off. It was a family-owned business, and then we had a mutual. We started talking a little bit more deeper. So now I'll be the business development director of the Central Region for Conley.
Wow. It says the Conley Financial Group is a full-service independent insurance agency that utilizes 3 core principles to service and manage your individual and business insurance needs. Absolutely. It says it provides you and our clients with professional value-added services that are based on strategic planning, 5-star service, and cutting-edge technology.
Absolutely.
Well, somebody wrote that good.
I can't take credit for that.
That's well written.
Right.
I'm telling you, an independent insurance agency. This is wonderful. So, and 4482 Woodson Road, right down the street from where we're located.
Absolutely. That's our home office here in St. Louis. And so I'll be primarily housed in St. Louis, but we have the other departments. So Branch Benefits Consultant is the umbrella company that started. That's in Las Vegas, Nevada. That's started Conley Financial.
How'd the expansion come about? I mean, Miss Conley, how'd she?
Absolutely. So she was, obviously she's a pioneer and a mentor and a role model to a lot of us in that insurance professional. I'm a member of NIA too, is the National African American Insurance Association, St. Louis chapter.
I didn't know that was one.
Yeah, and Kathy's one of the founders of that. And then Quincy Branch is obviously a strong member in her. And his father is a member as well. So it started off, and I don't want to mess up the story, but Kathy and Quincy's father, they actually were good friends, and she was looking to kind of transition her business and transition to doing other things and so forth. And she's still active, but looking for the perfect person to acquire her book of business and her business. That being Quincy Branch, who's the CEO of Branch Benefits and Conley Financial. So, and he's a sharp, I'll say sharp young brother, but he's a couple years older than me. But sharp, business acumen, business IQ, and is excited to be a part of his team.
What's the importance of having insurance, Denale?
Oh we can be here all day, but
Tell me about. We can.
Okay, and I always talk about legacy building, right? And so I use myself as an example. Married, homeowner, have a 3-year-old and a 17-year-old. You want to make sure your family is protected, and that's something. And I'll say this with a caption, a quote. GoFundMe is not insurance, right? So a lot of times in our communities, we got to educate and empower and let people know insurance isn't something. Because a lot of times people don't think about it; it's an afterthought, right?
Sure.
So we have to empower people to, especially at the protections providers of your family, to make sure you're covered and protected in case something were to happen to you. Or there's other ways you can leverage your capital. We do investments and things too. So you're establishing mutual funds and building a book of your portfolio for when you retire, or becoming your own bank. And it's so many. Insurance is bigger than when you think just life insurance. And we do everything insurance. I kind of specialize in life, but we do everything from business insurance to personal lines, risk management. We do the whole spectrum. We're independent brokers. So.
How did you choose to choose life insurance as your expertise instead of any other?
Well, you know what? So being only about 4 or 5 years in being licensed, I've been licensed in Missouri, Illinois, and Las Vegas, and a few other areas. But for me, it was because I saw the importance. I'm always talking about legacy building. I own a few other businesses, but insurance to me, you can pass down as generational. I always talk about breaking generational curses. A lot of times it's economic and it's family, too. But I think with insurance, you can pass that down. That's a lot of times how sometimes our other demographics and races. That's sometimes how wealth is begin for that next generation. Yeah. So like you pass down businesses, homes, and insurance. Those are the cluster of what you should. When you're legacy building, what you're thinking about. But insurance is just important as a safety net and something, as Chris Rock used to say, in case stuff happens, right?
In case.
Right.
It might just be really bad.
Right, and there's auto and everything else.
Yeah. So. And I noticed on another thing you mentioned earlier about Harris-Stowe State University. You're affiliated with Harris-Stowe State University. It's like your alpha colors are the same as Harris-Stowe's colors, are they not?
Absolutely. Well, no, Harris-Stowe is brown and gold.
Brown and gold. This is very close. It's
black and old gold.
Yeah.
06 all day. About 25 years. Well, going on 25 years in March.
So what do you do at Harris-Stowe?
Harris-Stowe is, I'm going to my 7th year. I'm in my 7th year. I started off in IT and marketing, was a creative director, graphic designer. The last 3 years, I was blessed enough to get promoted to the director of athletic marketing development, which is a newer position created, which actually houses and pretty much I promote strategic partnerships, sponsorships, do the marketing, the personal and professional development for our student athletes. Because one day the ball's gonna stop bouncing. They're gonna throw the cleats out and put the bats. They're gonna
get old, right?
Well, not just get old. That next phase of life, that college to corporate transition we talk about, sure. or the just what's the next phase. A lot of time, I was a student athlete 26 or so years ago. I wrestled at SIUE, and I knew my plan, but a lot of my friends and other athletes, they didn't know what they were going to do after the sport. So a lot of times you get injured, you're like, what's next? So being in athletics is just refreshing, because student athletes, I'm biased obviously, but they have a certain work ethic edge, leadership qualities. A lot of times they're the leaders on campus, so people will follow them too. Your
graphic expertise in graphics, how does that help you in the insurance business and also the other business?
You know what? And it's a funny story, because my dad originally, going back in '97 when I graduated from high school, Kankakee, Illinois, give a shout out to Kankakee. But he was like, graphic design, is that going to be a good career? But at the time, so to answer your question, graphics is in everything. Strong, because it's brand identity, it's aided awareness, it's branding, and having good creative messages going out. That's graphic design. T-shirts, your marketing, your messaging, that's all graphic design, as well as web design. So for me, that's how I'm able to build so many companies, because of my graphic design expertise. So if I get an idea that I'm passionate about and I can build out, I'll create the logo branding that sometimes you're paying thousands of dollars for other people to do. I'll do it myself, the logo, the website, the basic branding platform, and then you flush out the business.
Building a brand.
And then it's automation. So
Well, I may but to also tell them that Denale Powell is the one that did all the graphics for the tribute I did to HBCUs.
Very nice event.
You did that, and I just want to let people know that it's up on Facebook and YouTube and everything, and all that came from Denale Powell.
Oh, thank you. And I'll give shout out to Tyrone Day too, because he was behind on the video part. But you know, that's my road dog at Harris-Stowe. And then working with that program was really exciting, because it's the historic context of Howlin' Jack. You know, just remembering some of the names and that HBCU. That was fun project, and thanks for letting me be a part of that, because that was fun.
Good. We got another project we're going to talk about in the next segment too. But in the meantime, the Financial Group, once again, how can they reach you right away?
The ConleyFinancialGroup.com, or you can go to it's an abbreviated version of that too, but normally the ConleyFinancialGroup.com, you can get access everything, insurance from business to personal lines, to risk management, estate planning. We kind of cover the full gamut.
Wow.
Whether you're a small business starting off or you've been in business 100 years, we can take care of you.
And we'll be back with Denale Powell after this.
As we feel the darkness pressing in upon us, both personal needs and needs in the world, society as a whole, it's easy for us to get depressed. And when we're depressed and negative and feeling hopeless, we're not going to be able to help anyone. That's why I daily have to draw strength from the Word of God. That's why I have to go on walks in the midst of the wonders of God's works. And that's why I have to be able to see something that's worked for many, many years in my life, is that Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever. That He's with us always, even to the end of the world. And that we can be a light, letting His love and power flow in us and through us in a cold, dark world. There are people hurting out there. There's people that are crying out to God at this particular moment in the midst of their desperation. Can we be led by the Holy Spirit to them? Can we believe God to reach out and let His love flow through us and by faith help them meet their needs? That's the challenges that the Lord gives us in His Word. Experience the joy of really helping somebody else and letting the light and love of Christ shine in you and through you.
Born in Jefferson City, Tennessee in 1957, computer scientist and engineer Mark Dean helped develop a number of landmark technologies for IBM, including the color PC monitor and the first gigahertz chip. He holds 3 of the company's original 9 patents. He also invented the industrial standard architecture system bus with engineer Don Muller, allowing for computer plug-ins such as disk drives and printers. His work led to the development of the color PC monitor, as I mentioned, and in 1999, he led a team of engineers in IBM's Austin, Texas lab to create the first gigahertz chip, a revolutionary piece of technology that was able to do 1 billion calculations a second. In all, Dean holds 3 of the company's original 9 patents, and in total has more patents than associated with his name. Mark Dean.
God loves a cheerful giver. Even though things are really tough right now, you can make a difference in the lives of so many. New Life has been doing this work for 50 years, and we have seen God's gracious goodness through people like you who have participated in this work. There are so many people who are suffering. More people are becoming homeless for the first time with the rising costs of inflation and food and housing and so many other commodities. We need help. You can make a difference today in the lives of so many by giving your tax-deductible gift to P.O. Box 473, St. Louis, Missouri. Or go to newlifeevangelisticcenter.org or call to get involved in this incredible work.
And welcome back. My guest is Denale Powell. He's in so many different things. You know, he's an entrepreneur, certainly he's an author, and he's a track coach at Harris-Stowe State University. But he's also involved in the Heartland Black Chamber of Commerce.
Absolutely.
Heartland Black Chamber of Commerce.
Absolutely.
Tell us about that.
Yeah,
those who don't know or heard about it.
First of all, if you don't know, we're definitely going to make sure you know about it shortly. But no, the Heartland Chamber is our ecosystem. Our mission is really just a resource for the black businesses, black and brown business community to have resources for access to capital, networking, marketing, mentorship, and just getting what you need as a business. Whether you started last week out of the basement or you're $1 million business, we want you there. Currently we have about 300 members. You know, it's different memberships. So you have we actually have business account partnership where you're just a standard member. We have 20 business incubators within the space at our location that houses newer startup temporarily.
Wow. Okay.
And then we also have about 200 members at large where they may fall, and they have a virtual office. So like myself, I have a virtual office for some of the other businesses I do there. And then I try to tell anybody who has a business or just want to connect or reconnect, because it's like-minded individuals. We recycle our dollar and we build, sometimes iron sharpens iron, and we just build each other's confidence, momentum. It's and just ideas. It's a good place to be.
You see grants too for them, don't you?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
In fact, I'd be remiss to mention that. Thank you for that. So any grant opportunities, it's some large grants going on through the city. Shout out to Neil Richardson and his team and Mayor Tashara Jones, and that a lot of things are going on in the city for the ecosystem. We have to build and empower our black businesses because they fund a lot of things, and again, going back to power and worth, we have to make sure they're good because they employ our young people. We're talking about Harris Stowe. We can create a pipeline, employ some of the young talent, and they can create their own business for opportunities too. So it's critical, I think, at this point, because I always say economics to me will solve a lot of issues we have in the other inequities. That's another talk point, but just what we have going on with the uncertainty and people are kind of in disarray from economic and health disparities and so forth. But yeah, so the Black Chamber is where it's at. If you're thinking about a business, have a business, or want to re-engage your business.
Okay, they're located 929 on Spring.
Absolutely.
That's near the old Urban League offices.
Absolutely.
Near
In fact, we share it often with
Del
the
Mar.
It's actually right by Cardinal Ritter Prep. High School.
Yeah, okay. And the phone number 314-282-5592. That's all on the Heartland Black Chamber of Commerce.
Absolutely. The business,
site there.
corporate, and non-for-profit memberships.
It says business member, corporate member, and non-profit member. So you do it all.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We promote economic development through our shared networks and media platforms to ensure the black businesses are exposed to equitable opportunities that impact growth in our region.
Absolutely.
That's a lot to say, man.
It is.
But that's a lot to do.
Yes, but it's something we have to do. We have to do that. And we have some additives. I'm creating a mobile app platform, so that'll be another added value for those businesses here. It's already a directory, but we want to make sure all the businesses know about each other, and St. Louis knows about it, and beyond knows about each other.
It says here, vision and mission. Our vision is to be the most resourceful hub for black and minority-owned businesses that will cultivate a sustainable economic impact in the St. Louis region.
Absolutely.
How are you involved in this?
I'm involved, so the CEO, Marvin Steele, he's a good friend and mentor and so forth. So I obviously have a business in the chamber, but recently I'll be a part of his leadership team. So I'll be working directly with him, and we got a lot of great things in store for that. And we want to really rebuild and re-engage those businesses that we have, bring in new businesses, and take over.
Marvin has a wonderful name in history in the city of St. Louis.
Absolutely. Done a lot of great things.
Yeah, and Denale Powell also. Once again, Denale, briefly, how can we reach you?
Absolutely. Me directly on social media, MrNetworkSays.com, Instagram, MrNetworkSays.com, or Mr. Network Says, 618-593-1545. That's my direct sale. Give it out like Mike Jones. But you can reach me via email, social media.
Okay. But 618-593-1545, directly to Denale Powell.
Absolutely.
And Denale, I want to say thank you so much for being with us today, and
thank you.
Good luck.
It's a pleasure as always to be in your presence, and I'm just grateful to be back. And again, I say this like last time: anytime, anything you need from me that I can do, my network is your network. So
you're very kind. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thank each and every one of you for supporting the New Life Evangelistic Center. I'm Bernie Hayes. Have a great day until next time.